All right, it is 6 p.m. Are we live? Fantastic. Welcome everyone to the City of Desert Hot Springs regular meeting of the Planning Commission, Tuesday, June 14th, 2022 at 6 p.m. This time, I will call the meeting to order. If you'll notice, we have a new gentleman sitting up here to my left. We're going to go ahead and move into the swearing in of our new planning commissioner, Mr. DEWARD Cook. Mr. Cook, if you could please join Mr. Soriano down front there.
Please raise your right hand. Do you, DEWARD Cook, do solemnly swear or affirm that you will support and defend the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of California against all enemies, foreign and domestic?
Yes.
That you will bear true faith and allegiance to the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of California?
Yes.
That you take this obligation freely without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion?
Yes.
And that you will well and faithfully discharge the duties upon which you're about to enter?
Yes.
Congratulations and thank you for your service.
Commissioner Cook, on behalf of the City of Desert Hot Springs, I would like to welcome you as our newest member to the Planning Commission. Welcome. May I have a roll call, please?
Commissioner Cook.
Here.
Commissioner Grant.
Present.
Commissioner Wagstaff.
Here.
Vice Chair Nindell.
Present.
Chairman Duffel.
Present. I'll now ask Commissioner Wagstaff to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag
Of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, Commissioner Wagstaff. This time I would like to request approval of the agenda. Has everyone had an opportunity to review the agenda? And does anyone have a motion?
I have to abstain.
Thank you, Commissioner Cook.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Okay, Vice Chair Nindell makes a motion to approve tonight's agenda. Can I have a second?
I'll second.
Commissioner Wagstaff with a second. May I have a roll call vote, please?
Commissioner Cook. Abstains. Commissioner Grant.
Aye.
Commissioner Wagstaff.
Aye.
Vice Chair Nindell.
Approved, aye.
Chairman Duffel.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Fantastic. Moving right on to agenda item number 1, Planning Commissioner regular meeting minutes of May 10th, 2022. Trust that everyone's had an opportunity to review the minutes, and I would entertain a motion to accept as presented, modified. Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion
Motion from Vice Chair Nindell for
to approve.
approval.
I'll second.
Commissioner Wagstaff seconds. May I have a roll call vote, please?
Commissioner Cook. Commissioner Grant.
Aye.
Commissioner Wagstaff.
Aye.
Vice Chair Nindell.
Aye.
Chairman Duffel.
Aye.
Motion passes with Commissioner Cook abstaining.
At this time, we'll go ahead and open up the public comments. At this time, pursuant to the Brown Act, any person may comment on matters of general interest within the subject matter jurisdiction of the Planning Commission not listed on the agenda. Do we have anyone listed for public comments?
No, we do not.
Fantastic. With no one registered for public comments, we will go ahead and close the public comments. Moving on to item number 2, conditional use permit number 22-7, a request to operate a cannabis retail storefront establishment at 66201 Pierson Boulevard within the Commercial General District. Applicant Caloha LLC. May I have a staff report, please?
Yes, thank you.
The project is located on the south side of Pierson Boulevard, approximately 250 feet west of Cactus Drive within the commercial general zone, as shown here. The applicant has filed a conditional use permit to operate a cannabis retail storefront located at 66201 Pierson Boulevard and the vacant parcel to the east that will be merged and be utilized for a parking area. The existing structure is part of a multi-tenant building and has a simple one-story design. The exterior is finished in a smooth stucco and a palette of a light olive green that has been recently painted. The applicant is not proposing any major exterior changes, only minor cosmetic alterations. Shown here is a proposed floor plan and a parking calculation breakdown. The building has a total square footage of approximately 1,990 square feet. And the proposed uses include a retail space, office, and storage rooms. The parking calculation requires 7 parking stalls, and they have provided a total of 11 stalls, including 1 ADA. The landscape plan shows planted areas around the frontage between the street and sidewalk area on the east side of the building. The proposed landscaping plan includes a yellow dot ground cover, 2 large boulders, Mexican fan palms, and a red bird of paradise. All plants will be drought tolerant and are well suited to the desert environment. The applicant proposes to occupy and improve an existing commercial building. Only interior and cosmetic exterior improvements are proposed. In accordance with the provisions of CEQA, Title 14, Chapter 3 of California Code of Regulations, the project is found to be categorically exempt from further environmental review as a Class 1 existing facilities. Section 15301. With that said, this is for consideration of the following. 1, to certify an exemption to CEQA based on the finding that the project qualifies as an exemption under Section 15301 Class 1 existing facilities. And 2, conditional use permit number 22-7, a request to operate a cannabis retail storefront facility within an existing building located at 66201 Pierson Boulevard, located within the Commercial General District, based on the findings and subject to the attached conditions of approval, APNs 641-021-049 and 641-021-018. That concludes my report. I'm available if you have any questions, and the applicant is also here. Thank you.
Thank you, Patricia. At this time, we'll entertain questions of staff from the Planning Commission. Commissioner Grant, we'll start with you this evening. Do you have any questions of staff?
None at this time, Chair. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Grant. Commissioner Cook.
Does this include any information regarding signage on the outside of the building?
So the sign will be on a separate permit and review.
Okay, but it will have to go through approval, right?
Correct.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Cook. Commissioner Wagstaff.
No questions.
Vice Chair Nindell.
No questions.
Okay, I have no questions at this time, so we'll go ahead and open up the public hearing and take testimony from the applicant. Is the applicant here?
Yes, he is.
Fantastic. We'll take a moment. Okay, here's the applicant here. You're quite all right, sir. If you'd please step up and state your name for the record.
Scott Asher.
Okay. Scott Tashner, representative for the property owner. So, good evening, Mr. Chair, Mr. Vice Chair, Planning Commissioners, and welcome, Commissioner Cook. There's really not much to add. Just want to reiterate, it's an existing building. They do have to do certain improvements because of the CUP for cannabis. So security lighting, security cameras. They're going to repave the parking lot, add additional landscaping. But beyond that, there's that's pretty much the extent, for development of the site. Actually, they are going to do a trash enclosure in the back as well.
Fantastic. Thank you very much. Please stick around in case you need to come back up for any rebuttal, but thank you for being here this evening.
All right, sure. Thank you.
This time, are there is anyone here for public testimony on this item?
No.
Okay, fantastic. Given that, there's no opportunity for rebuttal. Did any of our commissioners have any questions of the applicant? No questions of the applicant, so we'll go ahead and close the public hearing and move on to Planning Commission discussion and questions to staff. Commissioner Grant, do you have anything that you'd like to discuss on this item?
None, Chair, thank you.
Commissioner Cook? Commissioner Wagstaff?
No questions.
Vice Chair Nindell?
No questions.
Okay, at this time, I would entertain a motion.
I'll make the motion to approve.
Okay, we have a motion to approve from Commissioner Grant. Just so that I can clarify, Commissioner Grant, is that a motion to approve and certify a categorical exemption to CEQA pursuant to Section 15301, existing facilities, and B, consideration of conditional use permit number 22-7, a request to operate a cannabis retail storefront facility within an existing building at 66201 Pierson Boulevard, located within the General Commercial District, APN numbers 641-021-049 and APN number 641-021-018.
Yes.
Okay, we have a motion to approve on the floor. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. May I have a roll call vote, please?
Commissioner Cook?
Yes.
Commissioner Grant?
Aye.
Commissioner Wagstaff?
Aye.
Vice Chair Nindell?
Aye.
Chairman Duffel?
Aye.
Motion passes.
Thank you very much. Congratulations, sir. Moving on to item number 3, an ordinance of the City Council repealing Chapter 17.160, massage establishments, and adding Chapter 5.56, massage establishments of the Desert Hot Springs Municipal Code. May I have a staff report, please?
This item, first, good evening, Chairman and respected planning commissioners. This item, we're asking to be tabled to a date uncertain. We have some items that came up that we'd like to address on it, and due to that, we'd like to table this item.
Okay, thank you very much, Eric. Thank you for the staff report. Does staff have any questions with that, or does the commission have any questions of staff with that information being provided at this moment? We'll start off with Commissioner Grant.
No, I'll make a motion now
Okay, your motion is?
to continue it until I can't say.
A date uncertain.
A date uncertain.
Okay, we have a motion on the, we have to open public comments first, correct, before we take a motion on this item?
Yeah, just in case there was anybody, because this item was noticed, I think formally we should go ahead and open the item to see if there's any testimony. I only do see one person here, and she is shaking her head. No, she's not here. So it could be, she is not going to talk on this item. Therefore, she is here. Therefore, we could go ahead and with that, the motion stands to table the item to a date uncertain.
Okay, we have a motion on the floor to continue this item to a date uncertain. May I have a second?
I'll second.
We have a second from Commissioner Wagstaff. May I have a roll call vote, please?
Commissioner Cook?
Aye.
Commissioner Grant?
Aye.
Commissioner Wagstaff?
Aye.
Vice Chair Nindell?
Aye.
Chairman Duffel?
Aye.
Motion passes.
Thank you very much. Moving on to item number 4, 2021 General Plan Annual Progress Report. May we have a staff report, please?
Yes, good evening, Chairman and planning commissioners. Here before you is the General Plan Annual Progress Report for 2021. So we compiled information for the General Plan Annual Progress Report. With that, we routed it through the Community Development Department to verify certain accuracy. We defined drafted the general plan annual progress report itself, then subsequently drafted the staff report, and now before you is the item. So what is the general plan annual progress report? The general plan APR, it's a yearly report regarding the implementation and progress of the general plan itself. Information for this report consists of various elements and their relation to the general plan. This could be housing element consistency, land use framework, general plan zoning designations, development standards, zoning ordinance updates, and plenty more. With this, it's good to clarify what the differences are between the general plan APR or annual progress report and the housing element APR annual progress report. So the general plan APR, it's really going over the general plan progress itself as well as the implementation progress that's been done. The land use and zoning it's a little bit more in relation to the general plan itself, and not so much just the housing element. With that, the general plan APR can include parts of the housing element APR or parts of the housing element itself. This APR has no specific format, but it is done yearly. The housing element APR, that's more consistent with housing element program goals and their implementation. It's also very much so in reference to the housing numbers, which, as you know, RHNA or Regional Housing Needs Allocation numbers. And this one does have a specific format that you fill out online, and it is as well done yearly. So the general plan annual progress report background. The California Department of Housing and Community Development, otherwise known as HCD, and the Governor's Office of Planning and Research, OPR, require all jurisdictions in the state of California to submit a general plan annual progress report, or GPAPR, on implementation of the general plan. All local jurisdictions, cities, and counties are required to submit an APR to their legislative body, OPR, and HCD. On May 26, 2020, the City Council approved the general plan update, and in doing so adopted the Environmental Impact Report, EIR, pursuant to Section 15162A of the CEQA regulations. Once an EIR has been adopted for a project, no subsequent environmental review needs to be completed unless there are substantial changes in the project that warrant additional review. Staff recommends that Planning Commission adopt a resolution of the Planning Commission of the City of Desert Hot Springs, California, recommending to the City Council to direct staff to submit the 2021 HCD General Plan Annual Progress Report. And that concludes my report, and I am here to answer any questions. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your report. At this time, we'll entertain questions of staff from the Planning Commission. Commissioner Cook. Thank you very much. Commissioner Grant.
None at this time.
Thank you, Commissioner Grant. Commissioner Wagstaff.
No questions.
Vice Chair Nindell.
No questions.
I have no questions of staff at this time either. This time, we'll go ahead and open the public hearing. Do we have anyone from the public here to give testimony for, opposed, or in a neutral position on this item?
No, we do not.
Okay. Given that, we'll go ahead and close the public hearing and have Planning Commission discussion and questions of staff. Commissioner Grant?
None at this time, sure. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Grant. Commissioner Cook?
None.
Thank you, Commissioner Cook. Commissioner Wagstaff?
No questions.
Vice Chair Nindell?
No questions.
Okay. With no questions of staff, at this time I will entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to adopt a resolution of the Planning Commission of the City of Desert Hot Springs recommending the City Council to direct staff to submit the 2021 HCD General Plan Annual Progress Report, GPAPR.
Fantastic. We have a motion on the floor from Commissioner Wagstaff. Do we have a second?
I'll second it.
We have a motion and a second. May I have a roll call vote, please?
Commissioner Cook,
Aye.
Commissioner Grant,
Aye.
Commissioner Wagstaff,
Aye.
Vice Chair Nindell,
Aye.
Chairman Duffel.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Wonderful. Moving right along this evening. Move on to item number 5, 2021 Housing Element Annual Progress Report. May I have a staff report, please?
Yes. So this will be the Housing Element Annual Progress Report for the 2021 year. Again, the timeline for this, we compiled information for the Housing Element Annual Progress Report again, routed this data through the Community Development Department, drafted the housing element APR, and drafted the staff report, which is now in front of you here today. So what is the housing element APR? The housing element APR is a yearly report regarding the implementation and progress of the housing element and its implementation progress. The information for this report consists of various elements and their relation to the housing element. This is a standardized format done in Excel, which really just shows the progress of the housing element itself for that year, as well as the implementation, the housing numbers, housing types, and any program updates from the previous general plan APR, or housing element APR, excuse me. So again, there is a difference. In this particular one, we are dealing with the housing element APR, which is just dealing with the program goals, implementation, RENA numbers, and again, is done yearly. The California Department of Housing and Community Development, HCD, requires all jurisdictions in the state to submit a housing element annual progress report, HE APR. Using a form provided by HCD, staff provides data to create an overview of housing production for all affordability levels, development applications received, and an update on HCD program implementation. All jurisdictions in California update their housing elements every 8 years according to a state-established planning cycle. The current planning cycle is for 2014 through 2021. This particular progress report is just for the year 2021. On May 26, 2020, the City Council approved the general plan update, and in doing so adopted the environmental impact report. Staff recommends that the Planning Commission adopt a resolution of the Planning Commission of the City of Desert Hot Springs, California, recommending to the City Council to direct staff to submit the 2021 HCD Housing Element Annual Progress Report, HE APR. And that concludes my report, and I'm here to answer any questions. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Besserell. At this time, we'll entertain questions of staff from the Planning Commission. Commissioner Grant, would you like to go first?
I don't have any questions at this time. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Grant. Commissioner Cook?
None.
Thank you, Commissioner Cook. Commissioner Wagstaff?
No questions.
Thank you, Commissioner Wagstaff and Vice Chair Nindell.
I just have one question. Is the city pleased with its performance under this element for 2021?
Sorry, could you repeat that
Is the
question?
city pleased with its performance under this housing element for 2021?
Well, to be honest, the numbers that the goals that we have, they're obviously very large goals. So every housing element you'll see has very large goals for reaching these large numbers. So it's very rare to see any city hit those RENA numbers whatsoever. It's a very, very hard thing to do. So it is a goal that we try to attain, which helps us address some of the housing needs in the community. So by seeing where we are missing housing, we're able to then implement economic development ways to really bring those developers here and provide that housing. So to answer your question, we are very glad to see that there is progress towards reaching the RENA numbers, and seeing the numbers where we're lacking and where we need more housing. We're now able to kind of create a strategic plan of how to address and get those developers to come into the city and develop those types of housings.
Mm-hmm. Okay, thank you.
Anything else, Vice Chair Nindell?
Nope.
Fantastic. Well, I have no questions at this time. Oh, okay. Commissioner Wagstaff.
Page 92 on the Housing Element Annual Progress Report, is that considered the report card, the breakdown?
Yeah, it would be that last page that has the total numbers. Is that the page? It might be a little bit different on mine. But it should have a total RENA numbers, and can actually...
It shows very low, moderate, above moderate?
That'd be correct.
Okay. So it shows we haven't even touched the very low or low. Okay.
That is correct.
No further questions.
Thank you, Commissioner Wagstaff. Commissioner Grant.
Since they asked questions, I might as well. Seeing that the HCD puts out, these type of forms and models that the city can use, will the city move forward next time using those models and studies in order to obtain the information that you need?
You both make very good points. So HCD does provide a lot of data tools, and they're continuing to bring even more tools. I'm constantly going to workshops for HCD. I just recently went to one this last month, and I know they're bringing a lot more tools for cities. And trust me, we're definitely taking advantage of that, and we're reaching out to them to get that data and see what we can do to really bring those developers here to the city and get the correct housing that we need for our residents.
I have a question.
Go ahead,
Has
Commissioner.
anyone done any cross-reference to see how many of these, of the homes are possibly B&Bs or Airbnbs, short-term rentals?
So the development of the actual houses itself is what the RENA numbers show. The use of it or the change of use, such as like you mentioned, short-term rentals, it doesn't necessarily take into account. But I know that there's different types of data that we can collect and bring forward those types of numbers if that's information that the Planning Commission wants to see. But we haven't necessarily cross-referenced it right now.
That's definitely a pet peeve of mine, and I would really like to see that information.
Okay, yeah, we'll go ahead and take notes and be able to get that data for you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Besserell. Is there any other questions of staff at the moment? Okay, with no questions at this time of staff, we'll go ahead and open the public hearing. Do we have anyone registered to speak on this item in favor, against, or neutral?
No, we do not.
Okay, with no one here for the public hearing this evening, we'll go ahead and close the public hearing and open up discussion with the Planning Commission. And if there's any other questions of staff, we can go ahead and move into those. Is there any other comments or questions from the Planning Commission for staff? Any discussion or a motion? Okay, I would be willing to entertain a motion at this time.
I'll make a motion to adopt a resolution of the Planning Commission of the City of Desert Hot Springs, California, recommending the City Council to direct staff to submit the 2021 HCD Housing Element Annual Progress Report.
Okay, we have a motion on the floor. Do we have a second?
I'll second it.
We have a second from Commissioner Grant, and we have an original motion from Vice Chair Nandel. May I have a roll call vote, please?
Commissioner Cook,
Aye.
Commissioner Grant,
Aye.
Commissioner Wagstaff,
Aye.
Vice Chair Nandel,
Aye.
Chairman Duffel.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Wonderful. At this time, we're going to go ahead and reopen the public comments and give an opportunity to those members of the public who have not yet addressed the Planning Commission on any item which is not on tonight's agenda. Comments are limited to 3 minutes per speaker. Please state your name and city of residence for the record. Do we have anyone registered for public comments this evening?
No, we do not.
Okay, we will go ahead and close the public comments and move on to Chair and Planning Commission member reports. Ms. Grant, do you have anything that you would like to give this evening?
It's nothing to report, but it's questions or concerns I guess I would like to ask and make public and put it on the record. I've been getting some phone calls with regards to Lennar Homes, which I'm very happy that they're here, but there's some questions in regards to, the development and construction and people not really knowing where to go. So that was just something that has just been on my mind before coming to the meeting. Outside of that, I've got other emails in regards to the portables that we voted on, and I just wanted to know, will we see anything happening in the near future? I've been down there like maybe once or twice in regards to the portables for the art project. So that's pretty much it. That's all I have. And I hope everyone has a happy Father's Day, whoever is the father. So that's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Grant. Commissioner Cook, do you have any Planning Commission reports?
None.
Thank you very much, Commissioner Cook. Commissioner Wagstaff?
No reports.
Vice Chair Nandel?
No.
Okay, wonderful. Well, what I have to report this evening, first of all, I'd like to thank the staff for all of your hard work. You've been doing a great job coming forward, really making the city of Desert Hot Springs grow. I'd like to let my fellow planning commissioners know that I've discussed and directed staff to, if we are available, to sign us up for a planning commissioner training in Rancho Cucamonga in August. I'm hopeful that all of us can attend. For those of us that have already been through a planning commissioner training, this will be a great opportunity to brush up and learn some new things. And for those of us who haven't been to one yet, this will be a great chance for you to learn some cool stuff. I don't have the dates available right now, but you will be getting an email or a phone call from Kat here at the city giving you that information. All righty. With that being said, that's all I've got. We'll go ahead and move on to Mr. Besserell for a Community Development Director report.
I don't have any amazing PowerPoint to show you guys today, but I just want to let you know, just to reiterate, right now we are seeing a big increase in wanting to bring a lot more development to the city, and know that our staff is working very hard to bring a lot of those developers, and a lot of that does include housing, different various types of housing ranging anywhere from affordable to market rates. So I can say that, we are working very hard towards trying to reach those RENA numbers, and we'll continue to do so. Next week or next planning commission, I should have something a little bit more well developed for you guys, but that's all I have this today.
Thank you very much, Eric. Well, I'd like to thank everyone.
Just real quick on DG Cooks about the short-term rentals, there will be an item for city council that's going to move forward at one point that's going to discuss short-term rentals specifically. So that was just one item that will be moving forward for
Do
you.
you have the date when that's going to be?
I don't have the date, but I
Could
will
you
definitely.
please keep me informed on that?
Yes, I will.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Daniel. Well, with that being said, thank you all for being here this evening. We had a very productive evening, and I would like to adjourn this meeting.